Welcome to the channel. I'm technically not a technician, and in today's video, we're going to be installing the Dark Fate mod by Team Encoder. Please note that this mod is different from the previous No Fate mod created by Team Encoder. The Dark Fate mod has a different front end and provides you with access to RetroArch. Before we begin, know that this video is to show you what I've done. Your results may be different, and I am not responsible for your actions. Please know that this mod does not come with ROM files. Team Encoder, this channel, or anyone associated with this video will not provide you with game ROMs. Our needed hardware for this mod is a quality micro USB cable and a 3U micro SD card. I would recommend getting a 64GB card. This is what you will need to install it. For configuring RetroArch within the mod, I would recommend a small USB hub and a wireless keyboard and mouse combo. You'll also need some software. First, you will need the Team Encoder's Dark Fate installer, and you will need the base menu and RetroArch files for your SD card. You should be able to obtain both on the Team Encoder's website. You will need ROM files, and you must provide those for yourself. Now we need to identify what drive letter our SD card has been assigned. Mine is the F drive, yours may be different, and this is important for our next step. We now need to click the magnifying glass in the bottom right and type in the letters CMD and hit enter. This will give us a terminal window that we'll use to format the card to FAT32, and this is important as the mod will only work in this file structure. We'll next give the terminal window the command for formatting the SD card to FAT32, and it's important to verify that you have the right drive letter, or you're going to hate yourself later, and I'll do my best to remember to add the command line to the description. All you have to do is change the letter to the right drive, and you'll be fine. Regardless, we need to paste the command in place, hit enter, and follow the prompts until it is done. With our SD card formatted to FAT32, we can snap its window to the right side, and we can find the base files needed for populating the supporting files. I happen to have two images, and I'm going to use the base image that was first given to me in a zip for this video. With that said, the file titled darkfate.img, I believe, will be the default download. We'll now extract the base image and copy all of the supporting files that Team Encoder has provided to our SD card. This will take some time, and everyone's duration will be different depending on the PC you are using and the quality of the card that you use. It took me about 6 minutes and 45 seconds to transfer all of my supporting files, and I'll be fast-forwarding this part to help save some time. We now have all the needed supporting files for this mod added to our base image, so let's move away from the files that Team Encoder has put together and move to the files that you must provide. The ROM files. Those files will need to be added to the RetroArch subfolder, and for now, I'm only going to move my NES, but please know, exporting your personal ROM sets will be done in the same way. Next, I'll set my SD card to the side. I'll verify that my T2 cab is working fine, and once satisfied, I'll shut my cab down. Next, we need to access the back of the cab and identify 5 items. Please note that I've decased my PCB. If you have not, yours will look different. I do so to help keep my PCB cool, and I recommend you do the same. If you'd like to learn more, I have a video on this topic, and I'll link to it in the description and above. Once you have the back of the cab off, you will need to find 5 items on the PCB: the power cable, the SD card port, the full-sized USB port, the micro USB port, and last, a little switch. That little switch is the dev switch, and before you touch it, be sure to power down and unplug the power from your PCB board. Once you have unplugged the power from the PCB, insert the micro USB cable into your cab and into your computer. Now, with the power cable disconnected from the PCB, change the position of the dev switch, then plug the micro USB cable in, and then plug the power cable back into the PCB. This will let the Dark Fate installer work with and communicate with our PCB. With our cab now set up, let's move back to the PC and locate the Dark Fate installer. Please know that when you download and use this program for the first time, Windows will flag the file as suspicious software. This is a false positive, and you may need to tell your antivirus that it is safe to move forward. To start your software, you will need to right-click on the Dark Fate installer and tell your PC to run the program as an admin. Once the Dark Fate installer has started, it will start to look for the cab. Now, walk up to your cab and turn it on. Do not be alarmed if the cab does not display the monitor or marquee. This behavior is normal when starting your cab in demo mode. Once everything looks right, simply click the Install option, and the installer will start modifying the cab's main system and adding the Dark Fate mod software. This will be automatic, and all you have to do is wait for the installer to do its job. There are a ton of great messages displayed. I recommend checking them out while you wait for the installer to finish. It took about 7 minutes for my installer to finish its work. I'll be fast forwarding to help save time. I'd also like to point out that there are a few versions of the installer. Your installer may be different, as some have a way to unbrick cabs, others also have a backup option, and as you can see, our version has a Yes Fate option. Don't click that. It is for a future release that may or may not happen. With luck, I'll talk about that in a future video. I want to emphasize that whichever option you choose from the installer, the connection process will always be the same as shown in this video. We now have a message that tells us there is no system core, it could not be shut down, and Dark Fate is online, and we should reboot our cab. If you see that message, then you know it is safe to turn the Dark Fate installer off, and will wish to turn the dev mode option off. To do so, you will again need to remove power from the PCB board as we did before. Once this is done, it will be safe to change the dev switch back to the off position, and now is also a good time to remove the micro USB cable and insert your loaded SD card. Once done, apply power to the PCB board and turn on your cab. If you did it right, once your cab is booted, you will see the Team Encoder's menu known as S.A.M, and you should be ready to test some games. With everything set up, let's move in closer for a small demo. Navigating the system is effortless. From the control deck, you use the player 1 and 2 buttons to move right and left, and the live key to make your selection. You can also access the navigation via both of the light guns. The side button lets you move right, and if you hold it down and squeeze the light gun trigger, you will move left. Pulling the trigger alone will let you select a game. Once you're in a game and you find that you need to exit, just hit the live key 3 times. This action will exit the game and move you back into the S.A.M menu. This mod is much different from the No Fate mod, as this one is much more expandable and lets you access RetroArch. I'd also like to point out that Team Encoder and the team of testers spent a lot of time doing their best to pre-configure as many games as they could. However, they can't cover all of them, and not everyone will use the same naming conventions for their ROMs. With that in mind, if your ROM set matches what we used, almost all of your games should work as designed. However, if your set differs, you will need to configure RetroArch for your games yourself. That's why you may need a USB hub and a wireless keyboard and mouse combo. You can use the default RetroArch commands from a keyboard to do so, and I may make a video in the future regarding that subject, so please be sure to subscribe. Before I go, let's talk about this project and what it does. Personally, I feel that Arcade1Up builds their cabs about half right, and Team Encoder fixes that. I feel this way because Team Encoder opens up the possibilities to do so much more with your cabs. I know Arcade1Up is limited by licensing, but if they built their menu system to allow sideloading, Team Encoder wouldn't have to do all the work. With Team Encoder's mod, you're basically only limited by the hardware on the cab, the cores within RetroArch, and games that RetroArch can use well. This approach really opens up a lot. Plus, RetroArch is such a popular emulation tool that it should make it easier to configure your favorite games. I also want to take a minute to thank Team Encoder, Joey Thug, Stephen, and all the other testers for all the work that they did. And I want to thank Lunchbox for my awesome new desktop background. I thoroughly enjoyed my time as a tester, and I'm sad that it is at an end. Team Encoder, if you ever need help again, I would love to be part of the project. If you are still here at the end, I want to thank you very much for watching this video about this wonderful mod. I want to thank all my channel members for supporting the channel, all my subscribers, and everyone who has watched the video. If you would like to support the channel or any of the projects I work on, I would ask that you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, turn on notifications, and hit the bell too. All of these are small clicks of the mouse for you, but to this small channel, those small clicks mean the world. Thank you.